Just want to make a quick phrase and a quick saying. First, I always do my date and time, December 31st, 2019, 3:47 p.m., Columbus, Ohio, about Gift Street and Walnut Street. This isn't just for Columbus, Ohio. This isn't just for the state of Ohio. This is the United States and in all. But a lot of the situations and interactions and systematical interactions or situations coming up, just so much misconduct and everything else, corruption and everything else. The phrase that I was thinking, which may have actually been helped out by somebody else trying to state it for me, is something to the effect of and this is addressing the government, and this is addressing the police, this is addressing the authorities, those who have the ability, and even the community. It doesn't even have to be government. Those who enact with authoritative enforcement, is your corruption and your misconduction is broader than your protection and your authority. From my feeling of that, is they're more after misconduction. They're performing more misconduction. There's definitely corruption, because that's still the same thing as corruption, on top of whatever matters it is, because each form is different. There's harsh, severe corruption, there's severe misconduction, there's minor misconduction, and even not knowingly that they're doing it, not giving them an excuse no matter what is still considered. While I'm being taunted, quit being picky, that I was told by authoritative figures that that's not being picky. That is the topic. It still exists. No different than what they're forcing me, that your situation exists and you need to take care of it. Somebody needs to start taking care of their own also, rather than making a broader of the misconduction and corruption that they're involved in and all the rest of the stuff, and start producing the protection and the authority that they're supposed to be standing with. Not allowing targeting acts to happen, not allowing stalking to happen, not getting messed up and not knowing the law themselves. That's no different than the video posted to the website that I have, where there's law enforcement officials, there's like district attorneys. I need to watch it again to see exactly whom, but I know law enforcement. There's like a district attorneys or prosecutors involved in the video, and it's all about stalking and how to handle that. And these people talk about they wasn't taught, even though it's written in law, they wasn't taught how that works. So they misconductfully, even if they didn't know about it, it's still misconduction, because it's a part of the law that they have to understand. No, it's something that's their job. Including, you'd think a prosecutor would be able to bring that up. A district attorney or somebody higher up in the office that has time to look into it would have looked into it, but these people did. This isn't just this is only very minor little specks of cities and states across the United States saying, hey, many places are this way, don't know how to handle it, and misconductfully each and every time when they do not handle it, it's misconduction, and it should be held to those people, but it's not attacking just law enforcement, but it should be understood and taught then. That way it doesn't happen again and again, one, and things slip through the system, two, it protects the people that are being bothered by that situation. Now there's also, for myself, misconduction and corruption to where it was intentionally not represented. Intentionally badgered. You're a baby-fied guy. You're making false complaint. You don't know what you're talking about, so we can't help you. And some of that basis, when I was told that the first time, it went into a second time after getting proof, or at least reading into the news media articles and what they've handled prior. I had an exact similarity case, and they didn't do nothing for me. Much less, I feel it was intentional because it was me. Giving name and identity and immediately recognition, much less my crippled abilities now from the situations that I've been in, impairing me from being able to conduct my own business due to the assault, stalking, harassment, and targeted situations that I've been through. But not to make this too lengthy, I just wanted to state, it just sounded really good, is there or addressing those who are in the position of authority that should be taking authority seriously and their job seriously, that your corruption and your misconduction are broader than your protection and your authority. That's sad. It is harming. To some people, it is life-threatening harming. Go through all of your American domestic violence pages, rape organizational groups, assault victim situations, and support groups, no matter what it is. What is it? National Center for Domestic Violence, RAINN, RAINN, all these deals. There are many cases a year that people are killed when intervention was there. And there was, even if it wasn't there to be available, or it wasn't, I don't know how to put that. I was going to put it in a certain way, but when police have made contact and didn't do enough, when that extra should have been done, and now those people are dead because the protection that was supposedly offered wasn't actually offered, either through misconduction, which turns into corruption, laziness, or trying to blame that it was uneducated to the police, it's uneducated to the system of how to handle it. So that's the excuse, we didn't get involved, which is no excuse. And I hope this does reach people, because I rest out and I'm trying to find things while I'm being mentally jacked up. I've for some reason become sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker, that I've seen and found the video that law enforcement has done. Prosecutors, whatever it was, I know there's sheriffs involved, all this stuff. Look into it. Each state should have a stalking law. Each state should be able to represent that without giving ridiculement, that there's a process, that there's something that needs more evidence to, just anything that you cannot help a person out and get away and be lazy on the job to a point, or get rid of it being a headache to those who are supposed to take care of it because they don't want the headache, or the feeling that it's petty when that pettiness looked petty at first and turns into severity, such as resorting in death, or even what I've been explained from an institution and professionals that work for the state or city and county, that social life death is the same as physical life death in comparison. And there are laws that should be able, and are laws that do compare those. May not be physically dead, but mentally, socially dead. Somebody caused so much harm that the brain died, and social life itself has died. There's no ability for me and those who have been attacked to operate in the community with dignity, respect, pride, or anything else, much less get a job. So what? Deal with it. No. I've been told by institution it doesn't have to be dealt with. The law should be dealing with it to help the situation out, but mine was so severe, practically no ability left to help out. I'd have to move to be able to get maybe a life started after the being rehabilitated and getting used to a new social community and everything else, and be coming back into the intelligence and the intellect without having to feel intellectually abused by a crack-headed community that the law enforcement is participating with, which leads into corruption. But would have to move, and even then that doesn't necessarily mean it'd be a good move. But no matter what, it was so severe while they're in here trying to enforce that it doesn't matter, it's not their business, as personal business, and when stated, that means I'm incapacitated, and those who state stuff like that the way they see fit, that then they'll intervene on the community's behalf, or the people that are attacking and attack me with pink slips, red slips, or evaluations. And I've also attacked that myself, and it's been also sought into of misconduction. It's plain as day in your computer system. But then I don't trust all of that shit either. There's been situations where computer systems been messed up. Somebody's wrongfully, illegally, corruptly, because it'd have to be law enforcement of whatever sorts, not just police, but whoever has the authority employed by the government, law enforcement, no matter what, that entered that situation. I've had things redacted and rewritten that it shouldn't be. I've had judges involved that had to go in and say, no, 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 they ain't allowed to do this. And it kind of jeopardized my situation because I wasn't financially stable back then to pursue it in court. But I was relieved by the judge or the other authorities changing what was wrong then. But then that big wrongdoing stuck to me for a while somebody utilized it as a tool and tactic to enforce and intellectually at the least abuse, threaten, intimidate, make me feel over-dominated, make me feel that I'm under their control. Anyways, like I said, I didn't want to make this video long. Once again, to me, it rings a bell. It just sounds good that their corruption and misconduction is broader than their protection and their authority. Happy New Year's. Peace. targetofunlawfulacts.com. I'm not a good writer. I'm sick right now with the cold, and even if I wasn't, I've had mass amount of health problems that's been deteriorating my mental ability, and I've already admitted this even 8 years ago, and I'm seeing a neurologist and stuff like that, which has not been working out. But I don't want to explain my personal life, but whatever's gone wrong, now I'm in the situation of also mental and body failure with almost no stability, nothing, any type of action that has been in my benefit to restabilize with. End in this video.